Is the jab the most important punch in boxing? Of course it is. And today we're going to talk about why that is and 6 effective ways that you can use it. The jab is one, if not the first punch you are going to learn when you start your journey into boxing. There is a vast amount of reasons for this. The first reason we're going to talk about is the fact that it can set up all your other punches. Watch any pro fight and watch just how often that front hand comes out. Commonly you'll see the jab set up the 2 or the cross, your 1-2. As you gain some experience, maybe you go from your jab to your hook. Maybe you go from your jab to your 6 or whatever number system your coach uses. But why is that? What's your opponent do when you jab? They react. They might put in a high guard, they might slip, they might catch. Either way, they react, and their brain is focused on reacting that, while you're focused on what your next punch is. So you already got it in your head before you took that step forward into them. This is all assuming that you have a respectful jab, and you already planted that seed and let them know that you do. If you have just a little touch jab, it's not going to work that way. If you have one that can rock their head back, or just an overall stiff jab, they're going to respect it. They're not going to want to walk into it, so they're going to react. You can win a fight with just your jab, even though it might not be the hardest punch. It's quick, it's effective, and it can be hard to see coming. With no movement in your shoulders, there's no telegraphing, all that person has to react off of is from point A to point B. So that opponent's reaction, it has to be quick. Next up on our list, coming in at number 2, the jab allows you to control your distance. Boxing comes down to footwork, positioning, and distance. I can't attack you if I can't reach you. Typically, my jab will be my longest punch, be your longest punch, and the next guy's longest punch. So right away, I can reach that jab out, and I'm going to see, can I touch your gloves? Can I touch your head? What all can I hit? If I can touch you, then I know where my range is at. I know where, when we're standing right in front of each other, I can come to a 2, maybe I need to get closer for the 3. However else. Now I know I don't have to reach for those punches if I want them to land, I don't have to put myself off balance or put myself in a dangerous position. Every time you throw a shot, you're going to be open somewhere else. So it comes down to taking that risk of, okay, this shot will land, I'm going to do this right to this. Yes, there's a possibility he could do that, but I'm so sure about making this move in this chess match that this will land and this will do damage, so I'm going to take the risk. One example of this is going to be like your 1-1-2 or your jab cross. Maybe you step in with that first jab, maybe you don't touch, that's fine. You step in again, you hit them with that second jab. Now, he's getting touched, he's reacting, right? So as you're coming through with that next step to come through with that 2, he's still reacting to those 2 jabs, and he might get hit with something he didn't even see coming. And we all know those are the worst punches. Reason number 3, it controls what your opponent can see. If I put my jab right in your face, all you're going to see is my glove. If I hold it up there, and you see people doing this a lot, even if it's just for a split second, you've lost sight of me. If I get a good reaction, get you to close your eyes, even flinch, that's perfect. Now I'm going to read that, and I'm going to react to that quickly. You can see this in fighters when they hold their hand up, maybe in sparring you've had it, they hold their hand up and it's like that constant little jab right in your face, and it's annoying, but it works. Now, because you can't see me and you're worried about not being able to see me and my body language in the middle of that fight, which is not a fun place to be. Seconds count in the ring, and if I got my hand in your face and you can't see me and you lost sight of me even for 1 second, you could get caught again with a shot that you didn't see coming. And everybody knows that those ones are the ones that hit the hardest. You're not prepared to take that shot. Moving down the list to point number 4, if you're somebody that wants to compete or somebody that does compete, you understand that amateur boxing, it can come down to points. If the fight doesn't lead to a stoppage, which in amateur boxing it usually doesn't, it will go to the judges. Guess what? That jab, every time it lands, that's a point. You just keep throwing that jab, that's another point, that gets you points. Maybe not in the way that some people are thinking about it. If you don't understand how boxing is scored, that can be another video for another day, because that would take a lot of time to explain. Honestly, it's a little messy. Either way, the judges see you throwing that jab, see you controlling the ring, having that ring generalship, and you keep having that effective jab on them. Then they go around, they fill out their little scorecards, they hand it up into the ring, and there you are, there's your winner. So use the jab. You're not going to see the amount of knockouts that you see in pro fighting. Amateur fighting and pro fighting, there's differences in them. Again, a video for another day. But just to stay on topic, most of those amateur fights are going to go to the judges. Think about it as you need to score those points. If you get a knockdown, knockout, any of that sorts, good for you. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. But just the majority. I'm just talking about the majority. On to number 5, it's proactive. It allows dominance. It allows you just to be in that guy's face. And a solid jab that your opponent cannot get through, that's frustrating as hell. I don't have length on me, that's not one of my attributes for in the boxing ring. So I can specifically speak on this. Fighting a taller, lengthier fighter, and I can't even get in there. I have to work all sorts of different angles just to get in close. And he can sit there and just tap me right in my face. It's like a gnat. Like you swat at it, it doesn't go away. It's annoying. For your lengthier fighters, use it. You're popping him in the face again and again and again. Now, you're in his head. He's annoyed, and all he's thinking about is that jab. He's trying to figure a way around it, and he can't get past it. Now you control the pace of the fight. Now you control the fight. You got him reacting to your jab, not thinking about the game plan that he came in there with. I want you to imagine 2 boxers in a ring, and one has landed 10 solid jabs, like real good jabs that will knocks the opponent's head back. And the other boxer landed 1 punch, and it was a 2. It was a nasty 2, but he only landed 1. Who's dominating that fight? Who's imposing their will, forcing it on the other person? I'm going to go with the guy that's landed more punches. I'm going to go with the guy that's controlling the fight, the pace of the fight, versus that 2 that could have just been a lucky shot. If you've watched this far, then you can see how all these elements of the jab play into each other. Hopefully you understand why it's such a great weapon in your arsenal. So let's hit our last point for this video. It's that the jab requires a minimal amount of energy. Depending on the type of jab you throw, sure, that's going to vary a little bit. But most of your basic jabs, it's just point A to point B, and it's not expending all this stamina from your body like other punches. No, it's not that nasty KO hook that you're coming in with, but it's just minimal. It's A to B. And you can throw a hell of a lot more jabs back to back than you can any other punch. Don't believe me? Go try it. Go get in the bag and just throw jab after jab after jab, and then just throw hook after hook after hook, and see which one puts you in that lizard brain a little bit faster. Your fuel tank in a fight is very important. And if I can come in with that jab, plant the seeds, get you reacting, just wear you down little by little without even breaking a sweat. Exactly. Thank you guys for tuning in once again for another episode of Punch Club. I hope you guys can take some of these points and use them in your future for sparring, training, whatever it be. Obviously, this is only scratching the surface of the jab. If you want more videos like this, make sure to let me know. You can say that in the comments. Liking, subscribing lets me know what videos are liked more, and it also helps that YouTube algorithm that everybody's talking about. And if you're going to share this with somebody, maybe it's a subtle, nice way to share it with somebody that, doesn't use their jab enough. Just send it to them, don't say anything. As always, guys, thanks for watching Punch Club.